The truth finally leaked about the Los Angeles Lakers as one of their star players spoke out and made a bold prediction for one of his own teammates for this upcoming season. In today's video, we're going to talk about what he said and what this prediction is and what his future holds for the Los Angeles Lakers. And welcome to Lakers Digest. My name is Hunter Pitcoff. We cover everything surrounding your Los Angeles Lakers. This is expected to be one of the busiest free agencies, one of the busiest off seasons in NBA history, and the Los Angeles Lakers could very well find themselves in the thick of things. If you want to keep up with everything surrounding your Los Angeles Lakers, hit that subscribe button, because 67.5% of you guys watching our videos right now are not subscribed. I mean, you're already watching the content. You're getting free around-the-clock coverage here on this channel. So the least you can do is hit that subscribe button so you really can be up to date and know everything surrounding your purple and gold. And I don't want to keep you guys waiting too much longer, because this is going to be a very interesting video, one that I think is going to spark a lot of debate in the comments. So definitely feel free to drop a comment on this one, as one player in particular is claiming to have an eye for talent on this team. And so Austin Reaves recently did an exclusive interview with Lakers Nation. Maybe one day we'll get some of those exclusive interviews. Who knows? But this is an interview from them, not from us. So this is what Austin Reaves had to say about one of his teammates here. He said, quote, "I got Dalton," when he was asked by Lakers Nation about who he thinks could be the breakout candidate for the Los Angeles Lakers this season. He said, quote, "I've heard that he's been locked in for the last 2-3 weeks in LA, working out 2 or 3 times a day. His talent level is definitely there towards the end of the year, which I was really happy about when he wasn't playing as much. I wasn't happy he wasn't playing, but he started to ask questions and be curious in situations where earlier in the year he wasn't. I remember after the Chicago game that Josh Giddey hit the half-court shot. Oh, geez, what a horrible time that was. We were sitting there in the locker room, and just me and him, and he looked at me, and he was like, 'What do I need to do to get on the court?' And I went through my whole spiel of what I thought he could do, but it's just little things like that. Early in the year, he wasn't doing that. Now he understands that there's a lot for him to learn." Also went on to say this: "Like I said, the talent is there. You look at a game like Denver. In Denver, when no one played, he goes and has, I think, 35. His shot-making ability is through the roof. I think he can make any shot in basketball. I generally don't think there's a shot he can't make. And he's 6'7", wingspan is long. He's athletic. So all the tools are there, and the mindset is getting to where we want it." So very excited about that. So Austin Reaves, again, one of the catalysts, one of the building blocks, the pillars for the Los Angeles Lakers, coming off the best season of his career, is batting the table for Dalton Knecht and is making himself heard that this guy is going to be a very important part of the Los Angeles Lakers' future if he is still repping the purple and gold next year. And Dalton Knecht is a player now who Laker fans are absolutely torn about in terms of what the future holds for him. But for Austin Reaves, he is making himself heard that he wants Dalton Knecht on this roster, and he believes in the talent, in the work ethic, and the person and player that he can become this season after a very streaky, very strange up-and-down season for the Los Angeles Lakers. That's going to bring us to our next point, because is it too soon to get cold feet on a player who they drafted in the first round with the 17th overall pick in 2024, somebody who was the runner-up for National Player of the Year in college basketball? I believe if he was not unanimous, he was damn near a unanimous first-team All-American. After Zach Edey, in my opinion, the best player in college basketball, someone who, by all accounts, was expected to be a top 10 pick in the NBA draft, ends up falling to 17, mainly just because he was an older player, 23 years old as a rookie, compared to a lot of these guys. They want to draft 19, 20-year-olds. He was on the older edge. You kind of knew what you were getting out of him, but you knew the offensive production was there at Tennessee. He lit it up in Summer League, lit it up in preseason, lit it up pretty early on in his NBA career as well, but then really fell out of the rotation, was getting spotty minutes, ends up getting traded. Can we even forget about that? That Dalton Knecht ended up getting traded for Mark Williams for Cam Reddish, a 2030 pick swap, and a 2031 unprotected first-round pick for Mark Williams. That trade, of course, ultimately falls through. We know all the drama about that. We're not going to get into that. But he gets a second chance at the Lakers, and then it ends up being to a point where he completely falls out of the rotation. They're looking for answers in the playoffs to stop Minnesota. Dalton Knecht doesn't even get a chance to even play. Maxi Kleber, who had not played a single minute for the Los Angeles Lakers, hadn't played since January, gets more minutes in meaningful basketball, playoff basketball, over Dalton Knecht. And I know a lot of Laker fans really like Dalton Knecht. A lot of Laker fans also know that you need to improve this roster. In order to do that, in order to get something good, you need to give up something good. And perhaps Dalton Knecht is that player and asset that the Lakers give up. So, what should they do with Dalton Knecht? Let's look at what he did for LA this season. 9 points per game, averaged 46% from the field, 37.5% from three. And look, if you look at his shots, over about 61% of his shots were 3-point attempts, and really did not give you much else outside of that. As you look at the numbers, the counting stats aren't particularly great. And this is someone who I can tell you defensively was really the main reason why he did not play as many minutes for the Los Angeles Lakers, is because the dude was a New York City subway turnstile on defense. I mean, everybody was getting through there. You saw it on full display. It was times where Dalton Knecht lost his man, did not know where to go in transition, did not know where to go in switches. And J.J. Redick's defensive scheme requires a lot of communication, being in the right place at the right time, and a lot of switching. And Dalton Knecht was getting absolutely Kimbo sliced and cooked out there defensively. And that was a big reason why he lost the trust of J.J. Redick, especially down the stretch and in the playoffs. So that's going to be the big question for me when it comes to Dalton Knecht. If he is a Los Angeles Laker this upcoming season, look, I'm completely okay with keeping him. I think he's a really good player. I think he's going to be a hell of a player at some point. But defensively, he definitely needs to come along. Now, the good thing is with Dalton Knecht, when you look at like a Luka Doncic, Austin Reaves, those guys are not athletic. Dalton Knecht's got really good size, and he's really athletic, right? 6'6", 6'7". You know, we always talk about the deceptive athleticism. Like, Dalton Knecht's a really freaking good athlete, and he's got really good size for a wing. So that is the good news. He does have intangibles to be a good defensive player. But with that being said, he needs to commit himself on that side of the ball. I'm not concerned about offense. This dude can heat up in a hurry. We saw him have some offensive explosions. Had a 30. I don't know if it was 35, but he had like a 33 or 34-point game against Denver, and then he had a 37-point game against the Utah Jazz. So he's capable of having those kind of nights. The question is, if his shot's not falling like that, can he be effective on the court? And that's where it's going to start defensively. He's got to be better at crashing glass as well, and really just being an overall good team player in order to fit with the Los Angeles Lakers. But look, we know where Austin Reaves stands. He wants Dalton Knecht with the Lakers next season. And he is not, if he was a GM, he wouldn't trade him. But look, if the Lakers want to get one of these guys, we saw the trade package. I clicked the wrong button. We saw the trade package that the Lakers were willing to give up for someone like Mark Williams. That included a pick swap, an unprotected first, and Dalton Knecht. If the Lakers can make a move to get a center like that without putting in Dalton Knecht, perhaps that would be the best case scenario. But we'll see if they value that first-round pick or Dalton Knecht more, and what the Lakers' mindset is going to be and what moves they can make. So if you want to stick around for all that, guys, hit that subscribe button, because like I said, 67.5% of you guys watching our content are not subscribed. I mean, that is a vast majority of you guys. That number has gone down. So I appreciate you guys actually listening and clicking that subscribe button. But we're trying to get to 20,000 subscribers. We are so close. So if you want to keep up with all of that, be along for this journey, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing here on Lakers Digest.